Hey, what's up guys, it's Quantonomy, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Hyperx Pulsefire Haste and the Glorious Model O. So first off, let's talk about the size and the weight of each mice. The Glorious Model O is slightly shorter in height and slightly longer in length than the Hyperx Pulsefire Haste, and comes in at 69 grams. The Haste is slightly taller in this back area than the Model O, and slightly shorter lengthwise, and it comes in at a weight of 59 grams. The cable on each of these mice is quite nice, although I do prefer the Haste's cable. It is just slightly more flexible and tends to stay out from under the mouse more often. The Glorious Model O has 20mm Omron switches that can double click and drag click. The Pulsefire Haste has TTC gold micro switches. They can also double click and drag click. I prefer the Haste switches. These feel much easier to double click. I don't know why. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Haste comes with grip tape in the box. Also, it comes with an extra set of skates for the bottom, which is awesome. Never seen a mouse come with any of those things before, except for my Glorious Model D, which came with an extra set of skates for the bottom. The Model O came with nothing but a sticker and some instructions. The RGB on the Model O looks quite fantastic. I've always loved this mouse. It looks really good. The RGB on the Pulsefire Haste, quite minimalist and clean. I wish there was one light in here, but I don't mind, because this mouse is a steal for $50. Now, as I said, both of these mice do double click, and with that, let's get into our click tests. So first, let's start with the Model O, and I'm going to use Butterfly for the first test. I'm getting around 17 or 18 CPS on the left click, and I'm getting about 17 or 18 CPS for the right click with the Model O. So now let's try the Hyperx. Alright, well, I hit 20 there for a moment, but I was averaging about 17 or 18 CPS. And I think that just comes down to my ability, to be honest. So now let's try the right click. So on the right click, I am also getting around 17 or 18 CPS. I truly believe that at this point, it just comes down to my ability to click, because both of these mice are quite excellent for Butterfly. This one is a bit harder and I have to hold it a bit weirder, but it's easier. The switches make it easier to double click. So I think it kind of balances out for Butterfly between the two. Now let's get to Jitter. So for Jitter with the Model O, usually I would get around 12 or 13 CPS. Let's see here. Alright, today I'm getting around 13 or 14 CPS with the Model O on the left click. And on the right click, I'm getting anywhere between 12 and 15 CPS. Now for the Haste. I'm getting a more consistent 14 out of this. And on the right click, I'm getting about 13 solid, maybe a little bit more than that. Alright, and now let's try out drag clicking. So I'm going to start with short drag on the right click. And I'm getting about 12 CPS on the Model O. And I'm getting anywhere between 12 and 15 on the Hyperx Pulsefire Haste. I think they're very similar, drag clicking or just clicking in general. These are very similar mice. Now, for long drag, I can't seem to get that on either of these without tape. Now, this is a glossy Model O, which makes it extremely hard to drag click on the stock surface. And this mouse's drag clicking surface, or surface in general, is really awful for a long drag. I cannot get a long drag on the stock surface with this mouse. So me personally, I do have to use tape, and the tape that I use is electrical tape. Alright, so now we have tape applied to both mice. and I'm going to try and do long drag. Now, please keep in mind that I don't practice long drag and I am quite awful at long drag. So if I'm not getting like 60 CPS, don't beat me up in the comments for it. Anyways, let's start off with the Model O. So I'm only getting around 30 CPS on this mouse. Now, I have gotten around 40 to 50 CPS on my Model O wireless. Not too sure if there's a huge difference there, but this mouse, right now, I'm getting 30 CPS. So when it comes to the haste, I find this mouse very hard to long drag, and I find the long drags very inconsistent. So as you can see on your screen, sometimes I'm getting above 20 CPS, more close to 30, and sometimes I'm getting about 12 to 15. Now, to me, it feels like I should be drag clicking 25 to 30 each time. I think there's something going on with the switches here, and it just doesn't register some drag clicks unless you're drag clicking in a specific, very specific way. Now, I just haven't had enough time to get used to this mouse, and I haven't practiced any telebridging with this mouse, so it could just be that I'm awful, you know, could be, but I think this might have some issues with drag click. Now, for butterfly, 100%, this mouse beats the glorious Model O. I think that after using this mouse for over a week, just for Minecraft, I would definitely choose the Pulsefire Haste over the glorious Model O, for Minecraft specifically. Now, if you're trying to drag click, I might not choose this mouse over this mouse. The Model O drag clicks much better, much easier to learn on. This is the mouse that I learned on, was the Model O. And I used to be able to drag click upwards of 50 CPS on the Model O. This mouse is very difficult to get to drag click. I did have to practice for quite a bit there just to get some clips for the video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more mouse content. I do have 9 different mice that I use for Minecraft, so if you'd like to see me do any comparisons between any of the popular mice you hear of, just let me know, and if I don't have the mice, I'll buy it and do a review on it. And with that, that's the end of the video. Goodbye.